Hey y'all, today we're going to be talking about how to get your data out of reach. So you've collected all of these valuable IDs, tons of tags, lots of contact information, but then what do? You can get your data out of reach, whether it's for your own analysis or use in other applications, one of three main ways. The first is through a manual export, which I'm going to walk you through on this screen in just a second. The second is through something like a webhook, which you'd have to have a developer set up with a few lines of code. And the third is a VAN integration to send your data from Reach to VAN in real time. That VAN integration I'm walking you through setup in a different video. So today we're just going to focus on number one, which is using manual exports to get your data out of Reach. So we're here on the export admin screen. And the first thing you'll see at the top is a way to select which data you'd like to export. So we have 8 different export types available in Reach. So the first one, the people export here, gets you everything, all of that information you could want about all of the people, whether they're voters or members that you've collected data about in Reach. The second, the responses export, is an export specifically formatted for being able to upload your responses into another CRM. So each question has its own column where all of the responses will go. And every single time you record a new response for a person, they have a new row. So if you record Jon Snow as a 2 and then again as a 1, you'll have both of those responses there. The response list export here has all of the same information as the responses export, just formatted a little differently. So instead of each question having its own column, the question name and then the question response will be in 2 columns side by side. Tag history gives you all of the information about all of those tags your users have added or removed from voters and when they've been added or removed, as well as relationships. This gives you insight into your network tool. So anytime someone adds a person to their network, and what type of relationship they've added with that person, you'll get all of that information. And if they've removed someone from their network, they're no longer friends. You can see that as well. The next export here, contact actions. So on a voter's profile page at the top of the screen, there's a bunch of different action buttons you can tap to send someone a message or an email or give them a call. And so this contact actions export tracks all of those things, including things like mark as contacted. For items like a message or an email, you can even see which script a user picked. So if they tap one of those buttons and choose from a list of contact scripts, you know which script they picked in addition to when they were communicating with that voter. One of the other things you can see in this export is whether or not a user has edited the name or address of a person they've added into Reach. So if a user has added a new person into Reach and later goes back and changes their address because it turns out it was incorrect or that they've moved, you'll see that action here. The email address and phone number exports are fairly self-explanatory. They're exports of that contact information. And the last export here is your user export. So it gives you all of the information for all of your users, as well as how they joined your campaign and when. So if they were added by another person by phone number, or if they joined using an invite code, and you can see which code they used to join. So when we pick an export type, I'm going to pick a people export. You'll see here I have the ability to choose whether or not I want to take this export for everyone, or if I want to select for just voters or just Reach ads. Additionally, you can pick a date range. So if I actually only want to see responses since the beginning of April, so the last 2 days, I can filter for those here. And then I would tap Export CSV. So all of our exports here are in CSV files, so they're really easy for you to be able to analyze yourself or upload into other tools. And the last thing you'll see here at the bottom is a history tab. So this is an audit list of all of the different exports that your users have taken out of Reach, what type of export they took, which user took it, as well as what range of records they looked at. And you can filter this view as well. So if I want to see everything that was exported since April 1st, I can see just those 2 exports that I've personally taken. All right. That's it for exports. To check out other ways to get your data out of Reach, like the VAN integration, you can check out all of our other admin videos.